Good morning and welcome in everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far on this Friday morning, as once again we approach the thinly traded weekend, which, as we know, unfortunately, the last 12 weekends, preferably on, or specifically on Sunday, we've had a dump for the last 2.5+ months, actually 3 months now after the 12th week last Sunday, of where the market has continuously moved down on Sunday. Now, XRP right now has made some noise after going back down to $2.22 last night. It was able to hold that support structure, and it actually came almost right down to that 220.5. It validated it beautifully, 221.5. Came back over in the hourly. We've created a golden cross here just recently. And then in the 2 hourly, we're up to the 200-day resistance. So right now you can see that $2.33, which is corroborated with the resistance structure because that's the top right here. And in recent time though, you can see if you just move it into real time, it's at 229. So we're actually over that symmetrical triangle right now. And although these are mostly bearish consolidations, if you can break out of the symmetrical triangle, you can play back up towards the larger pattern, and that's what we're trying to identify here. So right now, if we can hold $2.29.4, it's come down from 233. If we would have started the week, if you remember where we started the week on Monday, where are we at Monday? It was all the way up at 238. Now it's come down about 9 cents since the week's been going on. It's a downtrending resistance. Now we're over the top. Now if we can hold 229.4, it absolutely opens up the door to something great, because then we move up to that resistance that sits, and let's move it in real time, at $2.44. So if we can overtake $2.29, let's just say, then our next resistance, and assuming we can hold, is up at 244.5 is more solid. So that's the 200-day and the 2 hourly that we must get over. So that is a big thing I'm watching this morning. We'll get into a little bit more analysis after I do the intro. Gold made history this morning. It's consolidated a little bit, but it was up at $3,000. I think it hit $3,002. So for the first time in the history of gold, it hit $3,000 an ounce. And I think we're just getting started. We'll talk more about gold as the day goes on, but watch for your precious metals, commodities. Silver is right around $34 an ounce. So it's one of the most silent bull markets I've ever seen in commodities and gold and silver. But yeah, it's something to definitely pay attention to. But with that being said, good morning. 7:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, March 14th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Feel pretty well rested for waking up at 4:30. My son got up at 4:30 this morning, but I feel pretty well rested for some reason. The last day in this godforsaken hotel. We're going to my dad's today after my son's therapy. He's got school, then therapy at 2:30 p.m., and then hopefully everything will go smoothly, and we'll be going to my dad's house today, tomorrow, and then I'm going back home Sunday. It's not completely finished, but I'm going back home until they get through to the next phase when they put the countertops on and do the rest of the work in my house. But it's time to go home for a few nights on Sunday. So I'll spend a couple days with my dad and then going home. But with that being said, XRP right now, as we talked about, we're looking at that $2 and I don't even, that 220.5 has been held now. So now we're looking at a breach, which we've had, and a hold of 229 and about 229.5. And that would be the breakout of a symmetrical triangle. And then you start to open the door to higher levels. Now, you can't get all the way up to the top of the broadening wedge in one motion, which is almost up at $4 now, $3.93. You would have to start pushing transparently, so, or universally up. So now if we take 229.5, I want you guys to remember this morning, we have 244.5 over the top. So right now underneath, we've got 220.5 as the main support. We're trying to break over to confirm a next layer move, which would be the take over and hold of roughly $2.29, which we're over right now, but now we need to hold it. We've been unable to hold this structure all week. We came up one time on Thursday. Before that, when we tried to come up, it was back on March 5th, came back down, came all the way to the support. Now we're trying to hold it again. This is actually a beautiful consolidation. And now it could be putting in a much larger inverse head and shoulders, as we've talked about for quite some time about this being a massive inverse head and shoulders. It did pull out a little bit to the right, but that is still valid. This is still a valid setup. And we're going to see if we can break over our next layer move. Assuming we can hold this layer, we've got to get over 244.5. Break outside of that falling channel. We held the neckline on support at $1.93 of this inverse head and shoulders on this inverse right shoulder. So, I mean, it's nothing short of a miracle with the way that the market's going, that if you're still in the market and you're still being transparent with yourself and not letting emotion dictate your response, you could be doing rather well right now. And not just in crypto, but commodities, and just finding the areas where we should be looking at. Now, if we can do that with the XRP market cap, we've already got over a major pivot point, major level of resistance as well. That pivot point was 129.29 billion. A bounce off of there, and now a hold of support back into that, what could be perceived as a little bit of a symmetrical triangle, I suppose. Right? It's a weird pattern setup because it's a multi-layered. But as long as we can hold 133 billion, our next move up now would be 143. So now you've got that little grease area. If you hold 133 billion, you got about a $10 billion jump for the price of XRP as far as the market cap's concerned. So these are all good things. These are all good things. I'll put a price label up here, but these are good things. So you'd have to get above that now. So these are good. These are good. Because if you break up, then you start opening up the door to a big, big move up. And you're talking about adding like $80 billion to the market cap if this played out properly. And that would be a good thing. That could get XRP back towards that $3 plus side. But be that as it may, no matter how much positivity we put into it this morning, we've still got to hold, which we're over right now. That's why I keep going back to this point. We are over 229 with a little bit of room. As we know, the USA is going to start waking up at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know on the East Coast where I'm at, in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, that we are waking up now. But in Pacific Standard Time, it's only 4:06, so not very many people like in California and that side of the world, on the United States, are up right now. So we generally see the general consensus. We even seen it yesterday, how we had a quick drop before the overall market consolidated back up and then dived again. But we do get this level of very, very high inconsistency with volatility. What I mean by inconsistency is if we're rallying up, it doesn't generally hold that form initially when the US wakes up. It'll liquidate. It loves liquidating the USA, and then it ends up doing the move it meant to do up, or it'll continue down despite the movement overnight in the positive direction. So I'm very intrigued to see what the day brings to us. We're just focusing on XRP in this update, along with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a nice inverse head and shoulders. It really does. If we can break up over this resistance, this is your make it or break it line, 84,250. You get back over that, then you can start playing the pivot area at 84,863. Once you get over that, because that's a broadening wedge, that's why I consider it a big pivot point. It did come down below it, but I'm using it slightly different. I'm not willing to pull it down. I'm willing to use it like this to see if this is an outstanding resistance or if this is going to be a layer that we can finally take back over, because I believe we're in something like that channel. So even though we're in a much larger pattern, that fall right here was in a channel. And these are typically considered bullish consolidations. I understand there is a symmetrical triangle, but it also formed this nice channel if you go back to roughly January 20th and then come all the way down to where we're at in March 25th. So about 2 months, it's formed a downward channel. These are typically bullish consolidations within that short time frame. Now the rest can be up for argument's sake or can be up for speculation. But that little channel, to me, I think we got something bigger here. So we have to make sure that this actually breaks down. I see a lot of people have gone bearish, but I don't know about that. I mean, we've got to see the massive breakdown in the confirmation. Right now with extreme fear and what is going on in this market, typically most people will sell because of the fear and extreme fear, but you're not supposed to sell the fear. You're supposed to actually accumulate. We actually dropped from 21 to 18. Yesterday, this is fantastic. We have even more fear in the market today. We were at 21 yesterday, And now we're at 18. I am so friggin' happy to see this. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Take wisely what I've said in this morning update. I'm going to load this, but make sure you pay attention to BITUNIX as for the month of March. They still have the trading. It's not a competition, but you have ways to earn XRP. If you're a high volume trader on leverage, make sure you're taking advantage of this. I think it's 100 million in leverage trading in totality. So it's with the leverage, it's 800 XRP. If you send $1,000 to BITUNIX and do one leverage trade, you get a $100 voucher. Send 500 and do one leverage trade, you get $50 voucher. This goes on until through the month of March, but you've got to click on the link that I have and sign up through my through what I put on here because it's connected to my account. And they have the lowest maker-taker fee, lowest spot leverage trading fees. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. A lot of other ways you can do things, but that's just the main way that I like to send and receive things, especially when I'm selling and buying so that I don't have to pay the huge fees. So with that being said, have a blessed morning. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Show humbleness, show humility. But before I want to leave, I haven't done this in a long time in an update. We do this quite often in the lives, but I want to do this in an update. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the fun. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we may and we will and we won't and we will. Oh, yeah. Stay true. Stay blessed. Ignore the FUD. Seek the truth. I think that's pretty good. Have a blessed day, everybody. The sun is surely shining today. Hashtag be better, do better in the comments if you made it till the end.